wait a little bit for people to come in. Okay, we got one. It's probably Christy. Oh, that's the wrong script. Here we go. Alright. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Day 5 of HalloweenX, right here on Animation Station. When it comes to classic cartoons that are adapted from newspaper comic strips, one that immediately springs to my mind is the lasagna-loving, Monday-hating orange house cat known as Garfield. Ever since he was created by Jim Davis in 1978, Garfield has been a pop culture icon, and while not as popular as he used to be, he's still pretty recognizable even 42 years later. While the comic strip created Garfield, it's arguable that the animated cartoon Garfield and Friends is responsible for making him as recognized and beloved as he is. Also, it just so happens that that cartoon has created the subject of today's video, a little delectable treat known as Garfield's Halloween Adventure. So is this as good as John's lasagna, or should it just be buried in a nasty box of cat litter? Well, let's start with a little backstory. Garfield's Halloween Adventure, also known as Garfield in Disguise, is an animated Halloween television special that premiered on October 30th of 1985. It's the fourth Garfield special to be made out of the total 11 specials made that started with Here Comes Garfield in 1982 and concluded with Garfield Gets a Life in 1991. It was pretty well received by fans with an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and just like our last review, Grinch Night, it won the Emmy for Outstanding Animated Programming, which, spoiler alert, it deserved. In this fourth special, Garfield, voiced again by Lorenzo Music, and Odie go out trick-or-treating on Halloween night, only to end up in a haunted house, and hilarity, hijinks, and horror ensue. Overall, the story, written by Jim Davis himself, because this is based off of the comic of the same name, is a little simple, but does fit in the world of Garfield that he created. But as for the special itself, well, let's take a look. Let's start with the positives. First off, the animation is outstanding for its time period, with shadows, texture, and some very good atmosphere through simple color, with a beautiful orange autumn sky changing to a spooky, dark blue night, accompanied by a beautiful new moon. No, not full moon, new moon. Second, the voice acting is excellent all around, with bucket loads of character and enthusiasm, especially Lorenzo Music as Garfield himself, and not a single performance is phoned in. Third, it is dripping with the atmosphere of Halloween, as well as just a hint of a pirate adventure, giving the special something unique that really helps it stand out against all the other Halloween specials made back in that time period. Finally, Jim's writing is both incredibly sharp and incredibly funny. Not a single joke didn't make me laugh, and it adds to the enjoyment of the special overall. However, I do have a couple nitpicks to point out, but first, let me check the chat. Still one person. Alright, let's continue. However, I do have a couple little nitpicks to point out. Firstly, the story is just way too simple and redundant for my liking. Second, I really wish that it was longer than 25 minutes, because an hour-long special of this would have allowed Jim to make more scenes to drive home the Halloween theme of it. And while it still does that pretty well, I feel like they could have done a lot more with it, with a longer time and a bigger budget. And finally, John is almost non-existent in the special, because he's only in the first act for about 5 minutes, and that's it. He's the main character. Well, not the main character. Why is he barely in here at all? Overall, this is another example of a fantastic Halloween special, with excellent animation, sharp writing, superb voice acting, and an unmistakably great spooky atmosphere. Garfield's Halloween Adventure is a great time. despite my little nitpicks with it, I'm going to give it a final score of an 8.5 out of 10. I highly recommend it this Halloween season. And that's it. I know this one's pretty quick and brief, but don't forget, I still gotta do 2 videos a day. So I hope my more mature and adult audience joins me on Animated Station Plus for that review. And please go subscribe there if you haven't already. I'm trying to get that channel up off the ground. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until day 6 of this marathon, have a spooky day and take care.